Good morning and welcome to a very quiet Shark Bait. It is Tuesday morning, March 24th, and this hopefully will be the beginning of the end of March Madness. Here we are in Huntington Beach, California. Last week, our governor decided that it was time for us all to stay at home. And in terms of our retail storefront, we are complying. Our retail store is closed. However, interstate commerce continues. And so thankfully, we have an internet presence. We were the first online saltwater tackle store. Well, actually, before we were a store, we were an online destination. And I think probably I'll come back one of these days and do a little video of the history. But let's talk about March Madness, if we may. March is, the Fred Hall Show out here in Southern California. It's a big event, and we no longer participate at the show. Instead, we have our largest retail sale of the year at our shop here in Huntington Beach, and it's well attended. And thankfully, that volume pays vendors and profit pays people. And so, it's an opportune time in March because we're able to get caught up with our suppliers and make them happy with us. And the sale was a big success. But then, as the month progressed, we had the bad news last week that we had to shut down. Thankfully, our store business was there. The store's up because of the big sale we had. Of course, all those dollars went to our vendors. And then we had the shutdown. Well, we're a little different than we were, say, 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago, or even a year ago as a company. We made some changes. We are more of a family operation now than in the past because my family is more able to assist. And more than that, let's see, beginning of the month, we had the Fred Hall Show, but the day before the show, our website crashed, the crash of 2000. And the nice thing is that my son, oldest son, Sergey, who had worked here since junior high school time, expressed an interest in running the company as I get older and decide to do some other things in addition to this, because the idea was I could do this until I drop, or close to it. But there are a few other things I want to do too, in my old age. So he expressed that interest, and I said, well, that's great, but you've got experience in shipping, you've got experience at the retail store, you've got experience in the back end of things, on the internet. Build a new website. We've needed to do that for probably, about 15 years, given that the software I was using goes back to 1996, 97, 98, and the last revision was maybe 2001, and then went away. The old software allowed me to do more of what I do, which is yakking. So it was more text-driven rather than a database-driven site. Most of the internet is handled with software that's far different. But I wasn't about to get on that learning curve. My hands were full as it was. So Sergey made a new website for us. And we've been in a kind of a beta testing mode with that, encouraging people to place a few orders, and he flushed out that site and improved it. And so we were able to simply flip a switch to the new site. Of course, that cost us a lot of our search engine placement, given we'd been around for over 20 years. But that was a bullet we had to pay. We had to go ahead and deal with that. So we started with a crash, a big sale, and following that, the internet site with Sergey's work, and he's put in a lot of hours, has created a better website than what we had before, but we have to add more content to it. That was one of the strengths of the old site. And so he's been busy with doing that and adding and adding and adding. We have so many products that we stock here. And really, it's still the tip of the iceberg as far as what's up on the website. But it's coming together rather well. So we had some challenges and some successes to begin the month of March. And then comes the news to close down the retail store. Now, let me say, this whole Wuhan coronavirus thing, I tell you, when it comes to coronavirus, up until, maybe a month or so ago, yeah, if somebody had said coronavirus to me, I would have associated that with Accurate Reels, because in my mind, coronavirus, given that Accurate Reels are manufactured in Corona, California, I figured that was simply what happens when somebody buys one Accurate, like a Valiant, and then comes back and says, well, shoot, they're so nice, I want to get about 3 more. That absolutely is a coronavirus. Well, the virus, is upon us, and I'm sure as time progresses, more people are tested. The percentage of those, the mortality rate, if you will, of that virus will drop down until it's at a point where still it's horrible, but it's not that much worse than where we've been at. That's the hope, where we've been at for flu. That is the hope. And by softening the curve, as the politicians have said, that allows the healthcare system to ramp up, and other points of that as far as supply chain stuff gets handled. But nonetheless, as a business, we have people to pay, we've got vendors to pay, we've got rent to pay. And it would be nice if we were able to, as a family, make a little bit and pay for our own home payment and that sort of stuff. I'm sure things come together and the politicians get out of the way and let us go back to business. But the bigger concern we have is that everyone is safe. A lot of us, have goals in our later years, just as I have, of getting out there and doing more fishing. And something like this comes along that may have greater effect on older folks than younger folks. The last thing you want to see is somebody's retirement get cut short because of a flu, even if it's created, as this one apparently was. So, in these times, stay positive, folks. We will get through this, and as a business, we will too. People are key here, and we will do everything we can to maintain the staff, which we do have. In a way, again, we're in a little better position because 3 of us are family. My wife and son and myself, and then we have 3 guys that are key to us. 2 in the store, and 1 back in the warehouse. Shipping with David. In the store, some changes here. Beta, who'd been part of our team for, my gosh, getting close to 10 years now. Beta went ahead and he's pulling the plug and moving to Costa Rica. And so he was able to sell his house. That sale apparently is going through. And so even with the store closing, he was going to be moving on probably in April to fulfill his dream down in Costa Rica. Nice to have a friend in Costa Rica. So Beta will move on. Our store will have Andy, who's been with us on and off for several years, and of course Blake, who's a rigger like no other, and does the wind-ons and most of the reel spooling for things that are getting out the door. And Blake, disabled Army vet, has been with us for a number of years and has developed quite well over time. Learned from those around who, just like Sergey has. So as a team, we're a lot tighter than we were before. Our overhead dropped consequently, especially having family involved, because at this point, with family, I don't have to worry about minimum wage to my son or my wife or myself, nor do I have to worry about workman's comp. So, we're in a pretty good competitive situation. We're not paying somebody else to develop a website. We do that ourselves. Pretty good position to be at to weather a short-term storm, which is what I anticipate this really to be. We'll be back to work soon. Our fishing friends will be back on the water. Those that are private boaters and surf fishermen certainly are already out there. But the big boats out of San Diego and off our coast here in Long Beach and San Pedro, we hope to see those guys getting back to work too, as this situation straightens out. But in any event, here at Sharkbait, we are operating business as usual with the exception of our retail store. That will open up as soon as the politicians say we can, and we can get back to what we do. But for our internet clients, there's no shutdown there. FedEx, USPS, UPS, all those guys are still working, and so far our suppliers are still supplying, and we're in a better position than many, given that we've come off of high sales and we've fed our vendors. But like everything else, it's key that this thing gets taken care of, and we all get back to work. People stay safe. We appreciate the support that folks are giving us, especially now when everybody's kind of looking over their shoulder what's coming next. Reality is, you worry about the things you can do something about. We are back at work here, and really we never went away. And take care of yourselves. This too shall pass. Thank you for your support over the years. And let's hope this March Madness goes away, just like the crash of 2000. Back to business. Thank you much. Thumbs up. We'll beat this sucker. Mark out.
You sing all the time, oh, I can't stay away from you too long.
You know your name should be Melody.